CFM with electric heat. In order to be able to get the CFM with electric heat, you'll need to capture the voltage, the amperage, and the temperature rise on the electric furnace. You want the voltage at the disconnect with the system running. Get a good accurate voltage, not 230, not 240, good accurate voltage, and plug that in. The amperage, you want the amperage of the entire air handler. That would be the heat strips, the motor, the transformer, everything that's producing heat inside that air handler cabinet. You want to measure that amperage. So good place to catch that is right at the disconnect as well. On the disconnect, get the total amperage of that system running. All right. Then the temperature rise. Temperature rise will be measured at the return air and at the supply, and the difference will be your temperature rise on that unit. Measure as close to the return as you possibly can. That way you can take into account any duct leakage on the system. So right up next to the air handler at the return. On the supply, get as close to the air handler as you can without the thermometer seeing the heat strips themselves. So if they see each other, then you're going to pick up radiant heat as well. So put your thermometer right around the corner, maybe the first branch duct off the system. That way you're picking up sensible heat and no latent heat. All right, so then you'll take your voltage and you'll plug it in there. Maybe on this particular unit you have 236 volts. You measured that 10 kW in the fan motor and you ended up with 44 amps. And you took your temperature rise from the return to the supply and you ended up with 27 degrees of temperature rise. With that, you end up with 1215 CFM. 1215 CFM is really good for a 3-ton system. In this case, you have more than 400 CFM per ton, and that gives you a good idea. Now, if you're measuring for air conditioning, you're going to need to take the cooling speed and move it over to the heating speed, so that you're actually using the electric heater and powering the high speed or medium high speed fan that you would use in cooling. That way you're determining what the CFM is going to be. Hope that helps.